a akimbo wielding Victorian dress wearing lady just decides to appear in like Benio and Rokuro's life. Oh yeah, you know, that's just fine by me. I'm just, you know, gonna shoot shit up. I was like, what the fuck? Like, Subaru, like, is everyone that is like part of like the 12 like legendary like exorcists, like out of all of them, like, are they all just like weird ass motherfuckers out there? Because we got her and we got that other dude that's just like, oh, by the way, I don't speak or anything like that, but I've got this cool mask and I just make little emoji faces all over me. It's like, these like, where the fuck did you find these people? It's like, oh yeah, we got like a very depressed, wanting to kill himself, doesn't like his daughter dude that just uses like giant ass tentacles. We got a Victorian woman that just comes out there. We got a little boy that just happens to have a phoenix. Like, what the fuck is like going on with this show? So I think the first thing that I've got to address, especially now as well, is that people are probably going to be saying, wow, this episode, like, animation-wise, boy, was it very fucking inconsistent. And that was one thing that I wanted to say first, and it's like, definitely this is the point, like, when you come with any anime like that, like with any show, and especially one like this where it's been like, oh, it's going to be 24, oh no, it's going to be 50, it's like, you know, it's madness how many times like people say this, hey, it's either a 50 episode show or a 24 episode, or no, it's a 12, like, it's fucking bonkers. But regardless of what, this is always where, like, especially if you've seen so much, like, at this point, anime, like, when you're, like, watching it weekly, as I have at this point, it's, like, definitely always, like, you notice it when it's through the halfway mark to the third quarter of the show to, like, the last few episodes. It's, like, they're saving budget because most of the time, during the last 2 episodes, that's when they want to, like, you know, put in the budget or, like, get in the big fight scene, and especially for, like, kind of, like, in between episodes like this, where it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of development and some goofy shit like that. It's like, oh no, it's gonna look a little bit, which is definitely like, it wasn't like where it's like, oh my god, my eyes are bleeding, like what the fuck is it? But it was just like so many parts of this episode where characters were off model, or like just like Benio looked really weird, or like Roku, like just going throughout the entire episode, like a good portion of it just looked woo. But the entire plot for this episode is that both Benio and Roku decide to get stronger, and they actually beg Seigen. It's like, Seigen, yo, train me. I'm like, I want to see more Seigen. Like I've said before, let me see more Seigen. I think he's cool. It's like, I don't give a fuck about his daughter, like I don't give a fuck about her, but it's like, yo, give me Seigen. Seigen looks like a fucking badass. Like, I want to see a little bit more of him, like, out of everything, or like he trains with another character, and then it's like, oh no, fuck off, I can't be fucked. I'm like, wow, you had a chance to be in the episode. It has some cool moments, Seigen. It's like, come on, man. And Benio's old master Subaru, who happens to be one of like the same like level class exorcists as well. So it's like, so Rokuro was trained by one, and Benio, it's like, oh, like they're on equal levels, where it's like they both had like one of the 12 train them, and it's like, this is how fucking powerful they are. And it's just like her way of training was like, she was fighting, and then it was like, oh yeah, boys are malicious, like all this shit. It's just like, you have to be perfect for a boyfriend and have a, like, she's into, like, basically as a kid and all that, as she, like, Benio was like 5 or 6 years old, all she's doing is just complaining about how I want a boyfriend, and it's like, how I want this perfect one that's the me because I'm so perfect. And it's like, oh, we're gonna train you and everything, but it's like, then it just turns out to like her forcefully like putting the two on the date. Now obviously what she's trying to do, she's trying to actually have the two kind of like have a bond, you know, teamwork, or you know, all the shonen tropes that we have throughout the series. I mean, there was some really nice moments when they were like, oh, let's hold hands, and like, but like you had to see like Benny was like, huh, what is it? It's just holding hands, and then the both of them are like backing out and shaking. It's like, ah, you bitches, you like, you try to act all cool, Benny, about it, but no, you was getting fucking nervous as well. And like this owner, like he's just there like in a fucking suit, like he's there on a date, like suited and booted like that. It's like, what the fuck, like coming for this, and just, I don't like, it was just so fucking weird. And it was like, one thing I will say about the episode that they kind of added a very nice note to is like around about the end when Rokuro's arm just started like playing up, that it was starting like he's getting, but so I'm really more curious about what's going on with that. Especially, it honestly sounds like there is a Kagare in there, and it's like, especially with like the gauntlet as well, this friend already had, it's like, it seems like, especially like the 12, like, because from what Subaru, like the 12 guardians know about this. They already know about, like, you know, everything about it. And it seems like Yuto's and, like, also as well Rokuro's arms are two sides of the same coin, where it's like, maybe this belongs to some powerful Kagara, because, like, we've seen it before where it's like people, like, especially with Yuto can be influenced and, like, taken over by Kagari. We've also seen a bunch of the Kagari looking like the humans, so it wouldn't be very much surprised if it's like, oh, the Kagari are like this and like that, and it makes a lot of sense. However, though, when she definitely came out, like, at the end, like, when she took out all those Kagaris and he's, like, losing control, and you definitely got to see as well, to make sure that he didn't, like, lose control, Benio, like, put this real cool, like, enhancement on his arm, and I was like, oh, you know, there's a little bit of the, you know, bonding, and the show, I feel like, is now, because, like, at the start of the show, it's like, wow, like, there's really nothing towards these two characters, like, it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm the smarter one, it's like, well, I'm super strong, yeah, so I'm glad they're finally getting some more time with, like, Benio and Orko, because, like, as a couple, or, like, as a twin act, like, for so, like, and, you know, twin is in the big part of the fucking episode, like, that, as a title, it's like, I don't know, like, still as a team, and, like, still as the two characters together, I haven't, like, had this big, like, bond built off them together, so it's like, I'm still a little bit, like, on the two characters. But it was a nice moment. It honestly was a nice moment. And I just love that Tsubara just coming out the end with, like, using her fan as fucking, like, just guns shooting everywhere. Just, I really like that. And it was just like, all of you disappear from my sight. And it's just, I don't know, like, just the way, like, I guess I kind of like characters that always, like, kind of have the Gin from Bleach thing where they've always got their eyes closed and then open them when they're trying to be badass or something. It's like, that's such a trope, which I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe it's just because it builds a little bit mysterious and that they're hiding something that, you know, obviously they wouldn't reveal. But overall, it was a fun episode. Although Tsubara coming at the end in that top, though, and top, you know, panties. Oof. I was saying there, it's like, Roker, like, stop being a salty bitch, man. You know, just because your master's fucking fine as fuck. I mean, I like the hair, I think she's pretty cute, but let's be honest and all that, the Victorian, like, sort of dress that she's going for, like gothic kind of Lolita kind of, like, outfit, I'm more down any day for a sexy top and some pants on, like, any day of the week. That is hot as fuck with it as a girl comes downstairs in your own top and pants. So, like, trust me from the experience, that is the best thing. Plus, you know, I'm not too much into the Victorian fucking era dress, but it's like, nah, give me some of that. Overall, and all that animation, I was like, ooh, it was pretty rough. Like, just like, the characters just looked really off model for a lot of the time. And, you know, for a training episode that's being, like, continued on to the next part, because I remember, like, I know, surprise, people are always complaining about Twin Stars, but it's like, that they skipped out on something where it's like, oh, they got through that on the training, and I'm guessing that the whole Seigen part was supposed to be something like that, but they are having the training. It's fucking weird, like, and I've said it many times before, I am reading it as soon as this arc is done, alright, so stop fucking crying every week. Seriously, guys, like, you know, you're like, how many episodes are we into this, like, now, like, 10, still watching it and still want to cry, yeah, congratulations, you're wasting, like, what's that, like, 3-4 hours of your life now, don't you feel special? Like, I do enjoy the episode. I think there were some problems with it, not just on, like, you know, coming off animation-wise. I think, like, some parts of the episode a little bit, like, I thought it was alright, but there were parts of it I was like, could a little bit better on, like, some parts. So overall, I think it's a 6. I think it was a fine episode. I wasn't, like, screaming for, like, yes, I need more. I thought, you know, it's fine, like, for what it is and all that. We'll honestly have to wait and see. But that's all for me. So thank you very much for watching as always. And if you mildly enjoy Twin Star Extra, then, you know, give this like and a subscribe on here. But that's all for me. So I'll see you beautiful bastards next time.